And good morning. You know, in the science of mind, at least as I interpret it, when we look at the Bible, we see that all of the characters in the Bible are aspects within our own consciousness. So in the Old Testament, there is Joseph. The Joseph I'm speaking of is the one who gets to have a musical later. He is the Technicolor Dreamcoat Joseph. And so in the Old Testament, what happens at one point is that his brothers are very, very jealous of him, and they throw him into a pit and leave him for dead. Now, I think this is not much of a stretch for any of us that everybody knows the pit, don't we? I mean, we're all familiar. I mean, is there a person alive who does not feel you have spent way more than enough time in the pit? I mean, some of us, like, as soon as we recognize we're in the pit, we're trying to get out of the pit. You know, it's like what Winston Churchill said, you know, when you're walking through hell, keep going, right? But then there are others of us who are in the pit and we decide to redecorate. That will, you know, have a coat of paint and a few throw pillows and some flowers and say, well, it's not that bad. You know, it's not that bad. It's my pit. It's my pit. But I know for all of us, you know, that in the course of life, we experience setbacks and disappointments and things don't work out. And there are times when we feel betrayed. And it would be really, really easy. It's the most simple human response to be bitter and angry and resentful. But the spiritual truth is that who you and I are as spiritual beings is that we are of God. And what is ours in life is ours by right of consciousness. And no one and nothing can take that away from us. You know, people can intend something for our harm, and God is actually using it for our good. But there has to be that opening in us, in our consciousness, in our belief. Some increment of faith on our part where we say, you know, I don't like it, but I know God can use it for my good. You know, it wouldn't be my first choice off an infinite menu, what I'm going through right now, but I know that God is going to use this for good, for my growth, for my healing, for my spiritual enlightenment. Good can come from this too. It's easy to get stuck, you know, to be a victim of other people and the events that are taking place outside of us. But I think this is not as true. This is not as accurate if you have a really strong desire, a vision, an idea for something greater in your life. Because you see, the way God gives to us is God gives to us through the medium of ideas. You know, we pray and God gives us an idea. We work on our consciousness and we lift ourselves up and we clear our mind and God gives us an idea. All right? And so remember, you know, your dream in life is what you are here to contribute into the universe. You know, so does it express God? Does it express love? Does it serve other people? You know, and if it does, then you're on track. But what I know so often is that we are so willing to settle, that we experience a stumbling block, we experience a setback, or somebody says no, and we think, I just got to settle, just settle. So what I know is that my thoughts, my words, my vision have to be going in the right direction. In that direction is, I expect good. I expect good. I expect good to come out of this. I expect a good result here. You know, if we're bitter, if we're negative, if we're shut down, no good can come from that. Think about that. Those of you who are so intent on hanging on to those qualities, bitter, negative, shut down, it's really difficult for the universe to bring anything good to you if that's the predominant mental atmosphere that you hold. Okay, you know, that job or that relationship or whatever, that didn't work out the way you had hoped. But do we really think that being bitter or negative or shut down is the way to be in the future? Do you think that somehow that's going to attract great good to you? That the universe is saying, let's look for somebody who's really bitter? You know,